This Fest
This is Joe Cole.
This is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and you're listening to the
London is Blue podcast.
All right, Chelsea fans, welcome back to another episode of the London is Blue podcast. As was your host, Brandon, joined my co-host, Nick, back from PTO. Dan's out, though, so one in, one out. The revolving door continues.
Yep, Dan decided to work this week, which I thought was a bold strategy for Dan. So he's on a little bit of a work trip, and I am back from a wonderful weekend in Chicago with the family. Chicago, great city, wonderful summer city, great beers, great food. So, it was nice to get a little bit of a break from all of the podcast recording, but we are back in a big way.
Yeah, great baseball, depending on which team you support.
The old Cubs, not so good. Not so good, unfortunately.
All right. Well, this will be good. We're gonna do a little summer update, as we continue to keep everything at top of mind for all of you Chelsea fans. There's so much stuff that's going on. It's always good to just kind of do summations of kind of what's moving and shaking going on. So obviously we'll kick off the USA Summer Tour. It's getting closer and closer. We have a merch update in case you aren't following us on social media, which is exciting. Club changes and then transfer rumors because, well, duh, you know why.
It is summer after all. This is what we do.
Yes, very aggressively. So anyways, USA Summer Tour is coming this way. I can't imagine how many USA chants are going to ring through the stadiums this summer, which is going to be a little bit cringe, but hey, we do what we can. We're still cheering on Chelsea. So Nick, you've obviously spent a lot of time working with Chelsea in America, working with Chelsea Football Club, working with the local chapters, and just friends and Blue Wire and everybody. So what's kind of the gist that we're going to be doing?
Yeah, look, we've been a little bit coy about this because there has been a ton of stuff to sort through. There are club-sanctioned events. There are CIA-sanctioned events. Each city has a bit of a different vibe to it, and so you want to make sure, I think our number one goal was, when announcing stuff, that we wanted to be a complementary kind of value add to the situation and not like counter programming against all the other shit that was going on. So that was kind of number one. And so we've been kind of working around a lot of the different scenarios and updated plans and all that kind of stuff. And so I just want to say thank you to John Costello, Sujin from LA, Dexter from LA, Uriel from Vegas, Tiffany and Bob from Charlotte and Raleigh Durham, and Jeff from Orlando for working with us on each kind of stop along the way. We are going to each of the three stops. We will be doing content, which I will get into at each of the three stops. But yeah, we've worked with a whole bunch of folks to kind of find the right times and places to do what we want to do, which is, some live content and some fun and some, I'll be honest about it, some beers, because you're on a summer tour. It's a holiday. So, look, I'm going to go through just some of the brief stuff really quick, just so everyone has an update. We will send out official Eventbrites once we have all this stuff officially locked down. So be lookout for those for sure in each city. But Vegas, here's what we know. Friday afternoon, there will be a kind of special deal that we're cooking up for Discord folks who are going to be in Vegas. We kind of have a special opportunity that we'll be kind of doing for there. Can't really say much more about that right now because we're still working on it. But I would say early afternoon, if you're in Discord and you're in Vegas, there's probably a good chance that you'll see us. And then either Friday before open training, depending on the press conference time, or on Saturday before all the CIA events kick off, we will be having a live show with the possibility of one of our journalist friends. You probably know either one of or both of them who will be joining us just to have some fun, talk about all the summer updates, and probably do a little bit of trivia and giveaways and stuff like that. Saturday before that, so reverse time a little bit, we are going to have a bit of a pool party at the Encore Beach Club.
A bit of a pool party.
Just a bit
Listen to this guy.
Look, come on. It's me organizing stuff. This is what you get. So we're going to be in Vegas, up to 40 people. We'll put out the Eventbrite for that and get wristbands and stuff so you can come hang out by the pool and cool off because it'll be 100 billion degrees in Vegas. And then Sunday, we're going to record our post Club America match review at the Blue Wire studio in Vegas. So if you're interested in like just coming to hang out on Sunday, we'll be there. The studio can fit up to, I think, 30 people. So we'll probably put an Eventbrite for that. That's Vegas. Still figuring out the finer details, but, general knowledge. Charlotte, a little less congested because we don't have the studio there for us, but Tuesday we'll definitely be doing a live show with one or two journalist friends, wink wink, and some trivia and some giveaways before the official Chelsea event. There is no open training, to my knowledge, in Charlotte, so it'll be a little bit more cut and dry, straightforward. So that would be before the club's event. So we'll be hanging out at the pub, I think, with Tiffany, Bob, and all the rest of the crazies in Charlotte. And then Wednesday, we'll be hanging out with everyone before the match. So if you want to come hang out, have a beer, we'll be, I think, at the pub before everyone kind of heads over to the stadium. And then Orlando is probably the most TBD right now. I just got connected with Jeff, who's the lead on that one. But I think probably just similar playbook, probably do something Friday night from a live show perspective with journalist friend before the official Chelsea event. And then Saturday, again, just be hanging out before the match. I'm unsure when we're going to record kind of post-match pods for Charlotte and Orlando Sand Studio, so we might just do those ourselves. But that's kind of the plan right now. And so we'd love to see you. Like, if you're going to be at any of these stops, Brandon, like, we want people to come out, have fun. We'll buy beers here and there. People want to buy beers. That would be great. There's no pressure. There's no cost to any of this stuff. Like, we're just there to hang out and have fun.
That's it, and I think the biggest thing we can offer is, like, if you're thinking about coming as a solo and want to get plugged in, let us be the conduit. We are be happy to introduce you to other Chelsea fans that are going to be there that we know, to a group. So, like, definitely don't let being the only Chelsea fan in your life stop you from coming to these things. Like, we can help you, make friends and get introduced to other people in the community. I think that's the number one thing that we can do, is just really help everyone experience the power and like the fun of a Chelsea community, because there's few things better.
Yeah, and each of these locations will have a unique vibe to it. There's no doubt about it, right? Vegas
Talking
is
to you,
its
Charlotte.
Yeah, we were joking with Bob and Tiffany. They're like, there's a chance this gets pretty wild on a Tuesday, and I was like, all right, here we go, Charlotte. I love it. But yeah, I mean, Orlando and Vegas are on weekends, and very different vibes for both of those. So yeah, just come and hang out, have fun. We don't bite. We're fun to hang out with, as you've probably seen on our London trips and stuff like that. So that's what we know right now. There will be official Eventbrites for the shows. There will be kind of official comms through our social channels once we have everything officially locked down. I'm doing the best I can on that, and I know we're only 3 weeks away. So thanks.
Yes, we are. Another kind of cool update is that we've launched another shirt. That is right. Actually, credit to Tweeds for really, kind of pushing this one. But we've got the Chaos and Trophies shirt has officially launched on our Shopify store. So embrace the chaos and celebrate Chelsea's trophies in your very own Chaos and Trophies shirt. Pre-orders are live. Ships early July. That's on me, essentially. I think I'm picking up the shirts July 1st.
Right before his wedding.
I'm sneaking it in. So we're going to pick up the suits Friday, and the t-shirt shop is like 5 minutes away. So I'm going to then grab the shirts and head back. So Elizabeth won't even know. We'll just leave them at the apartment here. I'll have them, but then I get married the next day and go on my honeymoon. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay as far as getting them out. You can also choose to pick them up on the tour as well. If you're going to be there and you just want us to give it to you so you have it for the tour, we can do that too. So again, a Chelsea blue, some white font, and then obviously the trophies is in a yellow gold font as well, Nick, and they are clean.
Yeah. Chaos and Trophies, something that's been said on the show about 1,500 times. We crossed out the Chaos and just left Trophies as an ode to the crazy ass 4 months that we've just had as a supporters base and a club. So we hope for less chaos and more trophies under the Todd Bowley era. But if you are interested in having your shirt picked up on tour, please use code TOURPICKUP when checking out. and that will notify us that you're going to be there, and so we have your size and we're able to give it to you, because otherwise it's just going to be too messy for us, and we're coordinating a bunch of stuff, obviously. So help us help you, and we'll get these out. But we hope you guys like them. They're fun. Most of our shirts, as you know, are kind of fun and goofy. So we're excited to get back in the merch game. Been a while.
Yeah, and it's a nice clean one, $30. It's going to be nice. They're really soft. We've got extra small to 3XL. So like I said, check it out. International shipping is a little bit limited, but we want to get these in the hands of all of our friends. So anyways, we can continue to move on with some club updates, because in case you somehow missed it, Chelsea now have a new board of directors. A lot of changes happening now that Todd Bowley and Clear Lake Capital have been in there for a little bit. They've kind of understood. But this isn't a surprise, Nick. We knew that there was always going to be a new board, and it mainly comes because the people who put capital in to the bid to have a controlling stake of the club were always going to demand ownership seats on the board, and that's exactly where we're at. Todd Bowley, co-owner, chairman of Chelsea FC. Bedad Egbali, co-owner of Chelsea FC, and he's on the Clear Lake Capital team, right? Jose Feliciano, he's on the Clear Lake Capital team. Mark Walter, he's with the Guggenheim Partners. Hansborg Viss, well, we all know him. The billionaire's Swiss man. Jonathan Goldstein, he's the CEO of Kane International. Barbara Sharon, she's a director and co-founder of NBC PR. Daniel Finkelstein, columnist and former executive editor of The Times. And then James Pade, who is also Clear Lake Capital. And so I believe Barbara Sharon and Daniel Finkelstein are non-voting or non-executive, but that's the new makeup of the technically controlling owners of Chelsea Football Club, Nick.
Yeah, and this comes off the back of the announcement that Bruce Buck and now Marina Granovskaya are no longer executive directors of Chelsea Football Club. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's been an interesting week, right? I don't think any of us anticipated that changeover would happen so quickly or abruptly, but, I mean, it's not a major surprise at the end of the day. I think this is just one of those deals that, once you get in, once you the chance to analyze the situation and figure out the way that you, Todd Bowley, and the rest of this crew want to run the club, then it kind of makes sense just to start that transition now. And especially if a lot of the transfer activity is going to be conducted through Thomas Tuchel and Todd Bowley, then you don't really need a middleman or woman in this case. So it's going to be interesting, because Marina clearly has a ton of historical knowledge and has negotiated a ton of really great deals over the years, minus one recent one that was not so fantastic. But, not having her around in operational capacity, I think she is still available to the team for a bit, but not an operational role every single day. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. They're going to miss potentially some of that historical knowledge, and it could open doors to agents and other things that, were kind of closed off due to previous relationships too. So, I think Matt Law and Nazar Kinsel have said, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just different, and we'll see if different ends up being good or bad.
I think I heard on the Price of Football podcast say that Marina Granovskaya made between $30 and $50 million herself on the sale of Chelsea Football Club. Wow.
So yeah, just go sit on a beach for a while and do your thing, man.
Yeah, so she's got the Chelsea cell phone on for a little bit as in the transition, they did say, but they filed the papers already. She's technically not on the board as an executive director anymore. The other one that they're looking at is, I am going to skip down a little bit, just so you know, is that Petr Cech is considering his position, and he needs to hold talks with Todd Bowley regarding his future after the board shuffle and the addition of the sporting director role. And this is because, again, Todd Bowley and team, they're trying to figure it all out. Petr Cech was very close to Marina. They had a good working operation. He kind of middleman the playing side with Marina and was the in-between voice. He's obviously widely considered extremely smart, extremely sharp, speaks 5 different languages. But again, new boss, you got to kind of prove yourself as the two Mikes from Office Space? They walk around saying, so what is it that you do here?
What exactly do you say you do here? Yeah.
He's like, I drum, I play hockey. Like
I can do it all.
And I'm actually rostered to play sometimes.
Yeah, I can say penalties in the Champions League final. I don't know if you've heard of me necessarily, but yeah, I mean, I hope he stays. Obviously, I think this is a huge figurehead within the Chelsea ecosystem. He is clearly a guy who's like teed up for a brilliant future in kind of executive director type roles at football clubs. Like he's a guy you want around. He did so much heavy lifting between the Super League and some of the sanctions, and like was kind of the public face of a lot of really bad moments. So you hope that he gets a chance to be a part of some good ones too here coming up. And yeah, I mean it'd be a tough one to swallow, I think, Brandon, if he departed as well. If it's his choice and he wants to depart, like more power to him, right? But if it's Bully's choice for him to depart, that would be a little tough for me, I think.
I mean, no arguments there. I think you summed it up right. And part of the reason that he probably has to think about his job is that, according to the Telegraph, and other people have said it, Chelsea are eyeing Liverpool's transfer guru, Michael Edwards, because apparently he's departing. So the man who is largely credited with helping Jurgen Klopp build this impressive force at Liverpool, he needs a new job. And very, very smartly, Chelsea are looking to go after him. So again, if he's going to be the sporting director, I know Petr Cech had this really like long and kind of confusing and vague title at the club. What is it that he is going to do? How does he fit into all those layers and pieces and things like that? But again, Nick, if you can get a guy who's credited with building a team that has won the Champions League, gotten to the final twice in 3 years now, maybe even a couple times, having built a team that has gone on to push Manchester City to the absolute limits and even won it themselves. Let's have a chat, my man. Michael Edwards.
Come on down. Fuck those guys in red. You look better in blue anyway. Everyone looks better in blue.
Correct.
And yeah, I mean, like he's clearly a person with experience that could do this job, right? Like, and I think that's the qualification that you have for any new member of this team is like, are you bringing in someone considered best in class to help run this operation for, let's be honest, a not super experienced Premier League ownership group, right? Todd Bowley, tons of sports experience, tons of winning experience, tons of great business decisions, but can you bring in someone like a Michael Edwards or forget the guy from Atletico Madrid or the guy from not Marseille,
Monaco,
from Monaco, yep. And can you get them to align to your vision or listen to them and meet them in the middle and then go execute a plan, right? And it's probably too late. Like I would guess that he's probably, if Michael Edwards comes or if he doesn't come or whatever, it's probably not until closer to the season because at this point, a lot of deals are already in flux and whatever. But that's what I'd be looking for in this role. And to get someone who has his experience would be, I think, a huge coup for Chelsea. He's clearly done a lot of great work. And I think the Diaz signing last year was an all-timer. I mean, that was just such a simple move to get in retrospect. And you're like, God damn it, why didn't every club go after him?
For sure. We'll see if he needs a technical and performance advisor in one Petr Cech. I looked at his role on the club's website again. His new role is to provide advice on all football and performance matters throughout the club, as well as helping to maintain strong links between our men's and academy teams, ensuring that the various support departments are working together effectively. He's a snitch.
Get out of here.
Shit, big Pete's around. Hey, tuck it in, pull up the socks,
bring up
cones.
the spreadsheets. Everyone's working. And we're all doing a good job.
Yeah. Okay. And then lastly, on club admin stuff, is that great news that Reece James is in talks with Chelsea over a new 5-year contract. And quite honestly, it's about half as long as it should be, but it's a great starting point.
5 years, significant pay rise. This is via Caught Offside, by the way. That's the source of this information. Give him his money. Give Mason Mount his money. Secure them for as long as you possibly can. Ward off all these vultures out there.
Madrid.
These absolute fucking disgusting vultures that are out there. Make sure that they understand that these are Chelsea boys moving forward. And, let's go win another Champions League with both of them. I mean, they're critical to the future of this club.
For sure. It should be, to your point, Reece and then Mace, do not sleep on these guys. Matt Law talked about it, that, Chelsea have a lot to do. Getting them paid like much, much closer to their fair market value is very important. I mean, these guys are on like 50, 60,000 a week or something, maybe even less, and they go out there and work hard, if not harder than a lot of the other players out there. You know how much it means them when you see them take the pitch every single time, and especially when they're able to score. So it would also go a long way with the fans as well to show that the club understand what their valuable assets are. So I love to see it. All right, we're going to take our ad break. When we get back, though, it's going to be all about transfers. We're going to start with outgoings, and then we'll flip into who might be coming in. So thanks to sponsors for financially supporting the show, and we'll be right back. All right, our next partner has a product that I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because, well, it's hard to get a lot of micronutrients in. We're all focused on our macros with protein, carbs, and fat. And now we got to add the micronutrients from fruits and vegetables. It's just hard to eat that many servings a day. So I started doing it just to make my life a lot more efficient. I'm getting better gut health and a more durable, resistant immune system. So what is this stuff? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food, sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all of the things. Again, I do it. It's easy, it's fast, it's quick. I throw up my shaker usually on my way home from work, drink it. It goes down quickly. And like I said, you get 6 servings of vegetables a day very easily. But hey, don't listen to me. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews. It's recommended by professional athletes, and it's trusted by leading health experts such as Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais. So right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills, supplements to look out for your gut health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/LondonIsBlue. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/LondonIsBlue to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right. Well, there's no sense in wasting any time. We can immediately jump into Lukaku. Essentially done. Good is gone. Fabrizio Romano tweeted it. Therefore, it's truth as far as I'm concerned. Chelsea and Inter have all paperwork now ready to be signed in order to announce Romelu Lukaku deal next week. This was tweeted on Thursday, the 23rd of January. It says Belgian striker will also fly to Italy next week to undergo medicals and to sign the contract. No buy option or obligation clause. Normal loan confirmed.
I mean, Matt summed this up earlier this week. I don't think I could sum it up any better. This is a catastrophic failure of a move. I mean, Chelsea have a 20 million pound amortization on this contract. He's on huge wages every week, and he doesn't want to be at the club and force his way out. It's a catastrophic failure. Good riddance. I'm glad this is being done now and not later in the summer. I'm glad that we're ensuring that Thomas Tuchel is going to have a kind of a fresh slate to work with the players that are at his disposal. I think this is all nominally a good thing, but overall this is just abysmal, and I think he's only going for like 8 million plus, add-ons and bonuses. So you hope he does well, so you can recoup as much money as humanly possible. But Yeah, it's embarrassing. I don't think he's going to be welcomed back with the open arms that he originally thought either.
I tweeted that. Yeah, the Inter Ultras were not thrilled for him to be coming back. I put out the statement. Thankfully, Ollie Glanville shared it with us. But they essentially said, like, we'll support you, but we're not going to love you. Like, we didn't forget how you left the club less than a year ago. Like, this was not long ago. This wasn't years ago. So they were like warning the fans, like, don't get caught up. Like, you can't trust him. We'll support him and we want him to succeed, but we're not going to gush over you. And Frank LeBeouf on ESPN says, I'm sad for him, but it was a disaster. I'm not sure this loan move will resolve the problem. No shit. It's kicking the can down the road. He said Tuchel's partly to blame, but also I don't think Lukaku really wanted to come to Chelsea. Inter got rid of him due to financial reasons. Yeah, maybe, but at the end of the day, Frank did say the most responsible in all of this is Romelu Lukaku because he didn't perform. He didn't seem bothered about it. It's just weird. Like, look, I'm not going to blame anyone. I think this is just a fucking weird situation with Chelsea, with Inter, and him going back. Like, it's just like almost like if this were like a mob world, there's some kind of like cooking the books for some sin we did for Inter Milan 10 years ago that we're like making up for it. But it was just weird. It was bad. But again, credit to the club for getting this shit done right away and out of the way so we can move on with open waters and not have this massive anchor holding the boat back. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just never again. Like, you have to learn from this moving forward. And if there's a hint that a player does not want to come to your club,
I mean,
can't do it.
You tell me $350,000 a week, I'm probably going to tell you I want to come.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, I think the next time this happens, it cannot be at our club. It has to be somewhere like
United. They're good at it.
Just really good at it. They're tremendous at it. So yeah. Good riddance. Toodles.
All right, Palmieri de Lazio, aka Maurizio Sarri. According to Il Corriere dello Sport, almost got
Great. It. Dude, that was such a good one.
Lazio are set to open talks with Chelsea to discuss Emerson Palmieri, who has emerged as Maurizio Sarri's priority at left back. Well, joke's on you, Maurizio. He's a left wing back. So
Ish. He's a tweener.
Great. Cool. I'm sure he has some decent value. We know going to Italy, though, there's not much money. I think they said 15 million is what they're hoping for, euros.
Deal.
Great. Yeah. Not a lot to react to, so we'll continue. Because there's a lot of outgoings potentially going to Italy with Jorginho to potentially Juventus or Napoli even. Liam Toomey had a quote says, there's clear interest in Jorginho back in Serie A. His previous club, Napoli, could soon have a central midfield vacancy if Fabian Ruiz leaves, and Juventus has been admired for several years. And I believe Fabian Ruiz is going to Juventus, so it's kind of like Jorginho can go to Juve or he can go to Napoli, and Fabian Ruiz will be at the other team. Is kind of how this love triangle is forming.
Yeah, the Juve one's interesting for a player that we'll talk about in the incoming section, but
Paul Pogba?
No, not Paul Pogba, unfortunately. I think, this, like we said in Keep So Alone, this makes sense. It wouldn't be a massive shock if anything like that happened. So, we'll see.
Pulisic and Ziyech potentially have their bags packed. So this one is coming from Fabrizio Romano. I believe it's on their podcast. He's saying that Christian Pulisic's advisors would like to talk to Todd Boehly and Thomas Tuchel to explore the player's position at Chelsea. He's seeking clarity before making a decision on his future. This sounds like due diligence, Nick. It doesn't sound crazy. I think Fabrizio's also had some quotes out there that says Christian has always acted professionally. He's not throwing a fit. He just wants to talk, wants some clarity so he can make the best decision for him in his career. But I would like to think that Todd Boehly is at least thinking a little bit with his red, white, and blue sunglasses on.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Mark Pulisic kind of let the cat out of the bag a few weeks ago, so it wouldn't be a massive shock if they're looking for a way out for more consistent playing time. But the number of suitors I think will be interesting if that is true. I just, Premier League, I'm not sure. There's been that like weird Everton rumor. Who knows? And then I think probably Germany or Italy would be the others. And so, but you're not going to likely recoup the fee in those leagues that you would in the Premier League. So, maybe he stays too. Maybe he really buckles down and wins that spot like we talked about in the keep sell loan. I would like to see him stay, but this one's kind of wearing on me.
Yeah.
A little bit, just to be honest. Like, I know he wants to play ahead of the World Cup. I know he's desperate to play well in the World Cup, and to do that, you need to be on form heading into that tournament. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's always some interesting transfers that players make just for World Cup preparation. And I'm not saying it's Christian, but I bet just in the soccer world, we're going to see a couple transfers. You're like, huh? But they did it just to make sure that they get all the playing time they need leading into the World Cup. Hakim Ziyech, who is not going to be at the World Cup because he does not play international football.
Famously.
Said he might depart this summer if the right offer comes in. Apparently, AC Milan were seriously interested in him last summer, but his wages were too complicated to negotiate. They weren't complicated. They were just too high, AC Milan. Like, stop it. Yeah. That was coming from Fabrizio Romano, too.
Yeah, he's not being paid in like bags of gold, like these are. So, again, this would make sense. That league would be fantastic for him. I think he would absolutely rip it up there, have a little bit more time and space on the ball, tactically aware. Probably will play a right wing position that suits him if he did move. I mean, the Milan thing makes a lot of sense. There was that weird Leeds connection swap thing with Raphina, which I was like,
he'll never go for that.
No way. I mean, Leeds play I think even more high tempo version of what Chelsea do. So it's just,
and he's like the most metropolitan guy ever. So like for him to go out to Leeds,
yeah, he's not a steak pie kind of guy, I don't think. So
like it's northwest of Manchester. Leeds is up there.
No, Leeds is east, I think, right?
I'm looking at it right. It's straight. It's like straight north of Sheffield.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, sorry, northeast. I'm east, directionally challenged. Don't worry about me, ladies and gentlemen. Quick distraction here. West Ham apparently really want Armando Broja bad. And this is coming from Jacob Steinberg tweeting, West Ham are set to bid $30 million for Chelsea's Armando Broja. Again, Chelsea have smart people in the club, Nick. There's only one way a player like this is going to West Ham.
That is correct. I mean, there is a operation that we've talked about recently, codename Jasmine.
Correct.
Look, there is a clear interest in a player that we have a certain valuation of. They have a player that we're interested in that they have a clear valuation of. Let's make a deal.
What do you think?
I'm not saying it'll be a classic swap deal, but I think it would be, it makes sense for both parties. Each team gets the thing that they want. There is one way for this to happen. So, figure it out.
Which is a great transition to the potential incoming transfer rumors because, like we said, Operation Jasmine is going swimmingly. He's hanging out with Trevo and Mace, doing some photo shoots. He's even wearing a blue hat and blue shorts and some blue trim on his shoes, so we can totally read into that.
I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, just missing a big Chelsea shirt on, and he would have completed the set there. But, I mean, this is a terribly kept secret at this point. Like, right, there's so much smoke. There has to be some fire. Like, that's how I accept this. Get it done while they're in LA. He can just zip on over to Vegas and the LA training camp. Bam, boom, we're done.
He's already there. Like, it's so convenient, which it would obviously be great. It'd fill a gap in the team. It would. I think a lot of people said that if you can get Declan, now you can play a 4-back set because you're not having to worry about N'Golo Kante with a Jorginho or a Kovacic or someone. Like, you can now actually have someone who will protect the back line and sometimes almost drops in as a center back, which then really changes your options in how you go into attack. And how many center backs do you really need? So Very pivotal in that sense.
Number one target by far.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
Richarlison is up there. So Mike Goodman of CBS put why Chelsea and Tottenham transfer target Richarlison carries too many risks for Everton's superstar price tag. And again, you love a bastard, Nick. He is a bastard.
Yes.
He is a winger, but he's been playing a 9 a little bit. They want 60 million or more for him at Everton, which they obviously want to use him to kind of help fund Frank Lampard's new transfer strategy. He's proven-ish in the Premier League. He's probably not going to bang in 25 goals, but he'll press, and he's a bastard. That's what I'll say. And can score, as we know. Done it against us.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. He is clearly in a profile where it would be like a kind of a Diego Costa cut of a figure. He's a little reckless for my tastes when he plays, though, and is pretty hot-headed on the pitch. I think gets himself in. He doesn't have that ride the line Diego Costa mentality. He goes a little bit further, and I think that's a worry for me. If you get suspended for discipline issues a bunch in the year, then you're not as useful to the team, potentially. So, but I think that inside left position, would be great for him. I mean, he's relatively 2-footed. He's actually pretty tall, a decent aerial presence too. So, I mean, it's an interesting thought. I don't think this is very likely to happen, though, personally.
Yeah, I mean, especially when thinking about he's not going to have to be the man, right? He can back up Kai. He can jump in. And he's 25. He's younger in that sense. He's 5'10", but he's strong. He's strong on the ball. He's strong when he runs. And I think that those are some good things. When he gets compared to Danny Ings and Jay Rodriguez, not ideal. And Buemo, Josh King, Raul Jimenez. It's
and Buemo,
Ollie Watkins,
player.
Yeah, but I think that just kind of tells you, right? He's definitely a tier here. But we just talked about not splashing the cash on another £100 million striker, and maybe you need someone who's a B- and hoping they push themselves to that A-, or because they're with much better players. I mean, Everton had a shit season, so it's not like you can look at his numbers last year and be like, "Oh, this guy's terrible." Everton were an absolute disaster as well. So. 60 plus million, I don't think it really makes sense. If you can get him for 30 or 35 and he's a squad player, I think you can maybe take a punt on it. But again, Broya, all these different kind of moving pieces, they're going to have to juggle the squad. We talked about Raphina a little bit earlier with the Hakim Ziyech one. Apparently, Thomas Tuchel's already spoken to Raphina as Chelsea hold a transfer advantage, and that's from Chelsea Football or Football.London. I don't know what transfer advantage we hold on this one. Arsenal, Barcelona, there's quite a few teams obviously interested in them. I guess we hold the advantage because we have money in Champions League.
I guess we hold the advantage because we could pay the fee. I mean, I don't know. This one has been talked about for a couple of years, right? This is a guy that's kind of been around the radar, clearly super talented. When we played him twice this year, he's a real player. Incredible left foot. More athletic than Hakim Ziyech. But, if he's going to come in as a wing back, that doesn't make any sense. You play Dujon Sterling or Ian Matson at that point instead of bringing in Raphina. If he's going to play an inside forward position, I'm more interested. And I think he cutting in from the right-hand side with his left foot makes, there's some visions there that you could have potentially, right? But then I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm not as excited for this as I thought I'd be. Maybe a year ago when he was banging in the goals for Bielsa and was playing more of a forward role. I mean, he played wing back for Jesse Marsch at the end of the year. And if that doesn't draw connections to Ziyech or Pulisic or any of the players that we play out of position due to necessity, then I don't know what does.
I think I saw on Twitter someone was has Thomas Tuchel talked to Raphina about playing left wing back? It's that might be where you go. But again, 25, high on attack. He's similar players on FBref are Ziyech. Berardi, Adnan Januzaj, throwback there. But Austin Mawar, which is supposedly a highly rated attacker as well. So, I think definitely he's kind of a step back. But again, if he could be a system player, we've seen amazing Brazilians like Dani Alves play left back, and you don't look at him as a defender. We've seen Marcos Alonso play left back, wing back, and we don't look at him as a defender. So there's potential there, for him. If you had a really proficient left winger and him behind, that is a devastating side of the pitch to have to defend against. So we'll see how it goes. Nkunku is next up. Apparently, he agreed a 2-year contract extension at Leipzig, which included a 60 million euro release clause. In what world, Nick, are we putting in 60 million euro release clauses? Like, I thought we were around 750 or $1 billion these days.
They clearly didn't do this properly, because 60 million is a very attainable number for Chelsea Football Club, and this is a player. He's a player. He, I think, had about 190 goal contributions last year. Of course, I'm being dramatic. He just looks like a Premier League player to me, in a way that I think would excite the fan base. He's 24 and is coming off of his best ever year. Now, like we said before, we are all burned by the Bundesliga when coming into attackers and stuff like that. So, TBD on all that front. But he's a player. He's a real player, and I think depending on the formation too, could be an 8, could be a 10, could be an inside forward. I think has some positional flexibility that really excites me, and yeah.
Just in the Bundesliga, 20 goals, 13 assists with 1 pen. Dude does the business. And
very
we're talking
fun
about
to play with on FIFA as well, if you're into that kind of thing.
We were talking about similar players than the last guys. I think this is a little bit more exciting. Mohamed Salah, Phil Foden, Son Heung-min, Luis Diaz, Sadio Mane, Leroy Sané, Riyad Mahrez, Thomas Müller. Those are the names that you want affiliated with a team like Chelsea. So I think it's one of those a little bit. Do you pick them up, and you got to trust and kind of grow with him? But it's like, what can he do? But this definitely was a breakout season. The season before, he had 6 goals, 6 assists. Previous season at Leipzig, he had 5 goals, 13 assists. So we know he can create, and we know he can score. Part of it is the system, and if he's on an upswing, great. Let's continue this upswing. Dembele, someone who had a great second half of the season. Ben Jacobs tweeting an update on Ousmane Dembele. The only formal offer he has on the table, as previously reported, is Barcelona's contract extension. The club still don't plan on improving this, and Barcelona have made no secret of their frustration at the lack of signature or communication. So he goes on to say Dembele has a strong relationship with Xavi. He fits perfectly into his system and clocked 13 assists in 21 La Liga games last season. He's hesitant to sign unless terms are improved, but it may be his only option. PSG have not tabled an offer. CFC have not advanced recent talks. So, I mean, cool, but it's not the position that we most need right now.
No, I mean, it's a free transfer. Now, free transfers aren't free, as we've established before. You have to pay his wages and all that kind of stuff. I think the last time Naz was on the show, he said that this would probably be a later in the window type of transfer, just because there aren't clubs that are queuing up for him in a way that would inspire Chelsea to make an early move. So to me, this is a backup option, after kind of all the diligence has been done, and you potentially assess your forward options. And if there is a chance creation need, then maybe you go get him. But yeah, I think this is probably a later in the window deal. I mean, if that's Naz's point of view on this, then I'm kind of gonna go with Naz.
I like Naz. Naz is smart.
He's a fine journalist.
Listen to Naz. De Ligt, this is one I was kind of pushing a little bit harder on our little transfer roundup the other week. Romeo Agresti, who apparently is an ITK.
Great Italian tonight, man. You're killing it.
I had pasta for dinner. I'm feeling the home. No, I'm kidding. Juventus want to renew him, but now they expect a signal from the player. I love the Italian to English translation because it's never the same. They want a signal Fire up the
Boom
bat
box
light. We want to see
outside.
it. If this signal does not arrive, so are we at mail now? Therefore, market scenarios could be open for the immediate future. Situation to be monitored carefully. Again, I love it because, in Italian, it probably makes perfect sense. Whatever in English, we're we have this stupid complex language, so nothing really makes sense in English. But long story short, they're hoping from a sign, a message from De Ligt saying, "Yep, no, I'm good. Let's re-up." But if they don't get it, they're not going to wait around. They're not going to wait to the end of the transfer window to make a move on it. So again, he could be in the shop window sooner than later. So we'll have to see. We know a center back is 100% on the need. He can play in a back three, back four. He is good size. He's young. There's a lot of upside to it. We just have to kind of see how this all works out. I don't see it being cheap whatsoever. You're probably looking at least $60 million, which is a little bit of a lot, but I'm not comparing him to Van Dijk, but we all saw what 75-80 million did for them. Went a long ways.
Yeah, he's not Van Dijk right now. He's not in my mind, he's not a sure thing like that. That was...
He came from Southampton. It was the most sure thing ever.
Yeah, Pat Nevin wanted to sign him at Chelsea when he was at Celtic, and if only we had listened to Pat Nevin, which I think we should all listen to Pat Nevin all the time. But this is an interesting one. He's right-footed, but can play on the left. He's young. He's pretty sturdy. Looks, he's a player for sure. And he's a valuable asset.
192. That's big for soccer.
Yeah, for sure. And he's a valuable asset to Juventus too. This is not a cash-rich club, right now. So I think they would look to, move around some stuff as they have to now pay Pogba's insane wages and a bunch of these other players too that they might bring in. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. If they don't get Ruiz from Napoli, it would be interesting to see if there's something to be done with Jorginho to Napoli and maybe, make weight and something like that. Again, those deals rarely happen, so I'm not setting the precedent that would just automatically come true, but perhaps, who knows?
All right, a little bit of squad depth with Jonathan Klaus coming in potentially from France. He's a vet. I believe he's 30?
29,
30,
yep.
Literally a like-for-like replacement from Azpilicueta in the sense of his right side flexibility, coming from France, which, again, where Aspi came from. And I guess that's the idea. The idea is that if Azpilicueta leaves, he's going to be happy playing for a huge club in Europe, being a depth player. He knows he wouldn't be coming in to replace Reece James, no shot. Only apparently 10 million. And I like how Naz put this in the tweet. He sports Chelsea. I don't really. That's not relevant for me.
He's dreamed of playing for Chelsea since he was a boy, Brandon, as you know.
Exactly. He is technically a France international, so this very low risk kind of seems to fit the profile, kind of seems to fit the role. He's not coming to be the number one. I don't know. Weird tattoos.
Lots of them.
Many.
Lots of tattoos. If this comes in, I think that effectively closes the door for Dujon Sterling, probably. Mm-hmm. Which, whether you like that or not, that's just probably the scenario that you're operating against. I like a bit of veteran presence in the team. This could be a pretty young team if some of these sales are made. So it wouldn't be the worst thing, and £10 million is a splash in a bucket for Chelsea, but I don't love these kinds of signings for Chelsea anymore. I would personally rather play Dujon Sterling and give him the experience at a relatively young age to prove it, and save your 10 million and tack it on to the Declan Rice fee if you have to up it a bit. That's my personal take on it.
He's only played in the top league in France for 2 seasons. Even 18-19, 19-20, he was in the Bundesliga 2. And 2017-2018, he was in Ligue 2 in France. So he's definitely grinded out his career. He loves the assists, though. 11 assists, 5 goals last season. 6 assists, 3 goals the season before, and 6 and 5. So he definitely seems like he likes to get out wide and put something in the box, which again kind of aligns. But to be 29, pushing 30, and only have 2 seasons in the top flight is to me just a little bit concerning. But it is low risk in that sense. So we'll have to see how they want to play between Dujon and him. But either way, it seems like a shrewd signing and smart in that sense. And then the last one to end with a bang, Neymar allegedly wants out of PSG. No, PSG want Neymar out. They are ready to move on from him. They have a new sporting director. They have new kind of goals. I think they have like a Vision 2030 plan and all this nonsense going over at PSG. And the Sun, which I only quote them for fun, Sun Man United handle, of if nothing else. They actually have an entire account dedicated to Manchester United. It says Neymar transfer news, latest odds. Chelsea lead Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Man United after PSG exit claim. Liverpool are a shitty 22-1 on this. What are we doing? Roman's pissed. He's like, fuck, 1 season too soon. I could have had him.
Dude, this is just so dumb. It's a perfect Man United signing. Absolutely perfect. It will be a hilarious thing if it happens. Look, Neymar's still really good. He's super technically gifted, but he's played his prime years. He's not going to press for Chelsea Football Club. Do not make this signing. For the love of God. Go get Nkunku or someone young and hungry who wants to do the thing. This is this makes my head hurt.
Yeah. I don't think we're taking it too seriously. Just thought we'd end with a little bit of lightheartedness. We don't even need to get into the how does he fit, wages and everything like that. And he doesn't want to play in the Prem. He doesn't want to get kicked. So, if he does leave PSG, he's going to have to go to Spain. He's going to have to go back to Spain. Barcelona don't have any money. Do Real Madrid want him? Maybe just for the bants.
It would be hilarious, admittedly. But then it's is he going to start in front of Vinicius or Rodrigo, who are both young and talented? I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to have to retool some stuff. But, he's still top on his day. He's got to get ready for another World Cup. So you might get a good season on, but again, you're probably going to have to put on a 4-year contract. And after this World Cup, he's probably just going to, ship it in and chill. So anyways, we appreciate all you listeners out there. Nick, it was good chatting, doing a little summer roundup with you.
Absolutely. Lots more updates coming on Summer Tour, but glad we were able to at least give you a baseline of what to expect.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So some more pods will get recorded this weekend for next week. But just a friendly reminder, I'm getting married, so Nick and Dan will be in town. So it'll be a little out of pocket in case you can't get a hold of us. But there's no surprise there. Anyways, we're going to wrap it there. Chelsea fans, thank you again so much for listening. Hit us up on socials or in the Discord. But until next time, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high.